Hello, subscribers, God, you let's bring it back with another What If Deku was Shadow Monarch Part 3, the final part of the prologue. Then we get into the real story. Let's go. As Inko rushed outside, grabbing her son as he fell to the ground, hugging him tightly. Izuku, what the hell happened to you? Come on, let's get you inside, honey. As Zuko would be crying. As his hands would be in his face, his face would be in his hands. There we go, that's English. Oh, fuck you. Whoops, hold on. Guys, I need to get the fucking bulb on. Inko would call up Mika. Miko? Did I say Miko or Mika? Mika. As Inko would call Mika. As seconds later, an actual angry Mika would rush into the house, running over to Inko with a healer behind her. I rushed over as fast as I could when I heard what happened to Izuku. I brought my husband. Hi. Watch out. Let me heal the kid. I thought you said your husband was quirkless. He is quirkless, but he's actually he's a B rank healer. So he doesn't really, that's what he mainly, that's why he chose, instead of becoming a doctor, he chose to become a cop. He was a cop before he awakened, but as he put his hands on Izuku's chest, cover his hands over Izuku's chest, as his green light illuminates the room, as he'd heal Izuku. These are thankfully minor injuries, nothing too severe, so they won't cause any permanent damage, so there won't be any scarring, nothing. He'll be fine. He'll have to rest for a little bit, so I rushed over as soon as I could. When Mika called me, yeah. Thank you so much, Mika. Of course. Now I want to know who did this to Izuku. When I find out who did it, I swear I'm going to crystallize him. Katsuki. As Mika heard Izuku mumble. Huh? What'd you say, little guy? As she knelt down next to him. Katsuki did it. As Inko's eyes would widen in anger. Katsuki. Old friend, I'm guessing. You remember the guild I was telling you about that my husband used to run? Yeah, what's the name of that guild? They used to go by the Guardians Guild. No, actually, that's going to be saved for later for one of the major guilds. They used to go by the Silver's Guild. Now, they go by the Platinum Guild. The Platinum Spear. I've heard of that guild before. Oh my god. I read about 5 years ago. I read in the news about the guild, the leader of that guild dying, but I didn't know it was your husband, Inko. And the vice guild master used to be my best friend. I blame her. I still don't care. It's her fault for my husband's dying. She could have saved him and she didn't. And her name's Misaki. Katsuki Misaki. We're gonna go pay her a little visit then. Honey, as Kesho's father would grab Mika's hand. Don't do anything over the top, please. You know how you can get when you lose your temper. I'll stay here with Izuku, tend to him. First, ask if it's okay if you want me to stay. Please, thank you. Of course. Hey, if you need me, I can make a couple calls to my buddies at the station. Maybe talk to the chief and, you know. Thank you. As Inko and Mika would run out the house. Minutes later, they'd arrive at a decently big house. Like, it's like a small mansion, basically. As Mika would walk up angrily, banging on the door, damaging it. Calm your damn horses, I'm coming. As a 30 blonde woman who lives in their like 40s would answer the door. 30s, 20-ish, 30s, 40s. Inko? As literally a fist would come through the motherfucking door. As Inko would punch Misaki across the face, knocking the bitch back. What the fuck? Misaki would say, jumping up. What the hell was that for? As tears were in Inko's eyes. Your goddamn son nearly killed mine. What are you talking about? Whoa. As Mika would stand there in amazement. God damn. You're the Crystal Empress. You're one of the top 10 S rankers in all of Japan. One of the only S rankers in Japan. Mm-hmm. Now then, would you kindly let us into your home? Of course. What would what would an S ranker have being at my home? Well, your son beat my Inko's son, nearly killed Inko's son, Izuku Midoriya. Because I'll let you tell the story, Inko. Your goddamn son beat my fucking son to a pulp. I found him outside our door, bloodied, beaten, and bruised. What? Katsuki! What do you want, you old hag? Excuse me? You want to explain to me why they just came in the door and told me you beat Izuku half to death? Yeah, so what if I beat him half to death? He's a quirkless nobody. As Misaki would smack Bakugo across the face. You're grounded, young man, you hear me? Fine! I hate you, and I hope that loser dies! Speak the devil. Inko, I am so sorry. Before she could even finish, the door would slam shut, breaking the wall. As Mika and Inko would walk out, going home, to find Kesho's dad on the couch with Izuku sitting up, watching TV together, with some food on the table. After he woke up, I got up and made some food, if that's alright. No, of course, you guys are welcome here anytime. How'd it go? Well, wasn't as much as you expected. But damn, you should have seen the left hook Inko through. That shit was amazing. Thanks. My husband taught me how to fight. Actually, me and him took boxing classes together for a couple of months. His friend actually owns a dojo a couple miles up. A couple blocks up, my bad. Well, I hope Izuku gets better because I have to go home. I'm sorry, we have to get home to Kesho. He like got really sick out of nowhere. So, no, of course. Again, thank you. As a few days would pass, we'd see Inko packing boxes with Mika helping. So you don't need any more help. You're good. You're all set up. Remember, if you need any help, like financially, call me. Of course. And again, thank you for helping me get a house away from this neighborhood. And hopefully now Izuku can actually grow up without worrying about being constantly beaten and abused by other kids. Alright. As Inko would pack one final box into a moving truck before closing it. Alright, Izuku, time to go. Say goodbye to Kesho. Bye, Kesho. Hey, don't cry, Izuku. We'll see each other again. Don't you worry. As Inko got in the car, driving off. As we'd skip a few weeks, as they'd be in their new home, which is a decently sized home, maybe for a family of 3. As with the assistance of Mika and her husband, they were able to set him up with a welfare plan and a plan for money, so that every month they receive a $1,200 check from the government, because Mika has some connections the way that she was able to hook up with Inko. And hunters age slower, especially like S rank hunters. They basically age like 5 times slower than the average human, because like they're basically demigods compared to normal people. Funny thing is, if she fought All Might, she would lose, because he's a national hunter and that dude could destroy all of Japan if he went full power, like let loose. For those wondering what All Might's class is, he's a fighter class. More specifically, a berserker. Which is why he doesn't fight with weapons. He uses his bare hands with brass knuckles. He uses brass knuckles forged from mana crystals, which are S rank gear. And time would fly as years would go by in a matter of seconds, as we jump to a high school to see a 15-year-old green-haired boy sitting in his desk writing in a notebook. As the door opens, the teacher would walk in with a student behind him with blonde hair. Class, we have a new student. His name is Katsuki Bakugo. As suddenly Izuku's eyes would shoot open, slowly looking up from his notebook. What? As Deku looked up to see Bakugo standing at the front of the class. What is that bastard doing here? What's up? My name's Katsuki Bakugo, and I'm better than all of you. The whole class would chuckle and laugh. And if you don't think so, you come up to my face and say it. I ran the last 2 schools I was at. I'll run this one too. As he'd smirk, walking, kicking a kid out of their seat towards the window, sitting in it. Fucking losers. Brain fart. What is he doing here? Izuku would say under his breath, enraged. One of you losers go get me a drink. Fucking thirsty. As a day would fly by in less than a second. But towards the midday, an event would occur. My life's already miserable enough. I get beaten and abused more here at this school than I did my old one. And now I have to deal with Bakugo. Great. As visible scars could be shown on Izuku's arm, signs of SH. As suddenly Izuku's head would be smashed into his desk as he'd yell out in pain, "Fuck!" Well, if it isn't the nobody Izuku Deku. To think we'd run into each other again after all these years. Mr. Wannabe Hero. Oh, I'm gonna have fun tormenting you. I already heard that you're the loser of the school, that every person in this school except you has a quirk. Can you believe that? Wow. You really are a nobody, Izuku. Sorry, Deku. You're a loser. You're pathetic, you're weak. 10 years later, and you don't have anything to your name that makes you worthwhile. Your mom should have abandoned you when she had the chance. Would have saved her a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of years. You fucking loser. As Bakugo would punch Izuku in the face. As Izuku would sit there just taking the beating. As Izuku would jump out of his chair, going to punch Bakugo as I stutter. As Bakugo would catch his fist, easily throwing him against the wall, pinning him. And you try to fight back again just to get humiliated. You're a fucking nobody, Izuku. That's how it is. That's how it always has been. Face it, dude. You'll never be any more worthwhile than an ant is to its colony. You little brat. As Katsuki would slam Deku against the floor, walking out of the class, laughing his ass off, as a group of kids follow behind him. Izuku would get up, grabbing his notebook, leaving the class. As he'd leave for the day, going home, as whilst walking, no. As he'd go home, go to his room, not even saying hi to his mother. As weeks would go by of this torment and abused in this new hell. until during school, Bakugo would be extra cheery and more beady. Did you guys hear the news about Bakugo? What is it? Students be talking. Well, apparently he went to the Hunter Association. He got evaluated, and apparently he's an A-rank hunter. Oh yeah, I forgot. How old do you need to be? You need to be at least 15 to get evaluated for a hunter's license. It says people who get hunter's license early, they have like a 100% chance of getting into UA. I've always wanted to get into UA, man. Of course, Katsuki's gonna get into UA. It's Katsuki Bakugo. Get out of my way, losers! Bakugo would smack the two students out of his way. A-rank hunter coming through. Future #1 hero on his way. Bakugo, what class did you get? Huh? I got a mage. You're a mage, dude? Seriously? With my quirk, I'm gonna be unstoppable. I can make my explosions 10 times stronger now. I already have plans of taking over the guild my mom runs. Some loser chump used to run it before she did. Watch what you say, Bakugo. As Deku would stand out of his chair in anger, clenching his fist so hard it was bleeding. Oh, then nobody has something to say. Well, nobody? What is it? What do you have to say? As Bakugo would stand up, getting in Deku's face. What does the nobody have to say? Your breath stinks, dude. You little shit! As Bakugo would punch Izuku in his guts, Deku would actually puke up blood. You gotta learn your place in this world, grovel. Let's test out one of my new skills. As Bakugo would put out his hand exactly how it is in the picture, as suddenly he'd combust his hand, as all the flames from the explosion would begin circulating, becoming a fireball in his palm. Now I can turn my explosions into fireballs, making them 10 times more powerful. It's the first magic skill I actually unlocked, Believe it or not, I can make fireballs and combust and simultaneously combust things without having to touch them. By using one word, boom. And whatever I touch or it fills with mana, pop, like a balloon. As Bakugo will bring his fist back, punching Izuku in the gut, letting the fireball explode. As Deku would cough up with puke blood, as Bakugo would grab his hair, kneeing him in the face. Wanna see something cool? As his flames would ignite across Bakugo's finger as he'd swing it through the air, before snapping as an explosion erupted directly in Izuku's face. No! As it blew up, smacking him back, smashing him against the walls. He fell down, gripping his face in pain, screaming, "Ow! Ow! Fuck!" Bakugo, bro, that was way too far. You could have killed him. So what if I killed him? He's a nobody. Who'd miss him? His mom? Bro. Let's go. Leave the nerd die in peace. As Izuku held his face in agony. As after a few minutes, some students would walk into the class seeing Izuku as they'd run him to the nurse's office. She'd bandage it and stitch his wounds as best as she could, wrapping a bandage over his eye. I did the best I could, kid, but I'm not a hunter. I can't heal something like this. You gotta go to an actual hospital. Okay. As Izuku just sat in the nurse's office for the rest of the day. As the end of school would come by, Izuku would walk out of the school weakly, barely managing to walk. As he decided to take an underpass. But while walking under the bridge, he heard the sounds of energy. As he turned around to see a dungeon right beside him. As suddenly, the dungeon would begin to collapse. And that's where I'm going to leave off. Part 3, the final part of the prologue of What If Deku Was the Shadow Monarch.